What's up? It's March, beginning of March. We had a community cleanup, man. Tell us why you doing all this, man. What's going on?
First of all, I believe this is our responsibility. We say even when it ain't your fault, it is your responsibility because ain't nobody gonna do it but us. So our whole ethic, everything we do as an organization is about self-determination. Period, point blank. How we do it for ourselves, and any other factors that come into play, we want them to do it under, as the Black Panther Party said, community control.
Right. Okay. So a lot of people refer to CRC kind of as a new age version of the Black Panther Party. What's your reaction?
Definitely inspired by it. I'm also a central committee member of the Black Panther Party Cubs with Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. And for us, our whole organizational ethos is based on Minister Huey P. Newton's philosophy that power is the ability to define phenomenon and make it act in a desired manner, right? We say power is the ability to define phenomenon and make it act in the desired manner, and everything that we do is about that, right? We say wherever power is being expressed, we better be able to express power. That's our philosophy. And so that's going to look a bunch of different ways in a lot of different places, right? Our thing is socialists call it dialectical materialism. I mean, studying the conditions and shaping your actions accordingly. We call it facilitating or finding the flux. Whatever the changing conditions are, we have to assess them and then we have to adjust to them. Because a lot of times what our folks do is we have abstract ideology. We say revolution, we say this, we say that, we say a simulation. We have a strategy of change that's about studying the conditions and then moving accordingly to get a particular outcome. But the outcome has to be having the ability to define the phenomenon and make it act in the desired manner.
So by defining the phenomenon, what's the phenomenon?
Well, phenomenon is everything around us, right? So here, people might say that this is a capitalist society, a predatory capitalist society. The phenomenon has been defined, it's been observed, right? But also defining the phenomenon that says we want to resolve the power differential. How do we get some power for ourselves? How do we get some power to create the outcomes that are best for us, right? So that's what we're talking about with the phenomena. We want to figure out how we have to organize ourselves to be able to create good outcomes. And this, what we're doing right now, is a part of that. We're developing a relationship with the community. A lot of times when you hear from different folks in the city and different places, they say, man, when we come out here, folks be doing this and they be doing that. But that hasn't been our experience. Our experience is how this community gets in there and helps us out, cleaning up with us. If you look around right now, brothers and sisters that's living out here got brooms, right? They cleaning up, right? Because we approach with respect and resources. And we don't have nearly as much resources as other organizations, right? But we come with what we got. And so we negotiate. We say, man, even when we didn't help get a hole in Campman's house. Right? When the city was having issues with it, we didn't come to Fitzgerald Park, right? That was APTP, MH First, Community Ready Corps, was Love and Justice with Talia and all. That's who came in and helped get Fitzgerald Park finished. They won't tell you that, right? Folks, it was like about 9 folks who were unwilling to go. We helped get hotels, all of that, because we came with compassion and we said, what does it take? What do you need? When you approach our communities with disrespect, it creates a pushback. So you got to know how to move in our communities. And so this is what it's about. We come with service first.
Right. What's up with you, man?
What's up?
God bless you. Okay. So, man, I got a question. A lot of people kind of know, a lot of people don't know outside of our area. Who is Cat Brooks? They ask.
It's the co-founder, myself and Cat Brooks co-founded the Anti-Police Terror Project, right?
You're a co-founder of that?
Absolutely.
Does that surprise a lot of people, or you feel like everybody knew?
A lot of people know. A lot of people don't. You know, Cat will tell you that I'm one of her mentors, right? And so, you know, but I'm in a lot of places.
Right.
A lot of places. So yeah.
I had no idea that you was co-founder of the Anti-Police Terror Project. That's what's up. Can you tell us about the mission of the Anti-Police Terror Project?
Well, you know, when we started out, it was folks that were, it grew out of Oscar Grant, right? So did Community Ready Corps. Both of those organizations grew out of the Oscar Grant when Oscar Grant was murdered, right? I personally, and some of the folks I've been organizing with, we've been on the ground in Oakland for 30 plus years, right? But when Oscar Grant was murdered, it kind of changed how we organized. At that point, I hadn't dealt. We didn't fuck with nonprofits. We didn't do any of that, right? And we still kind of don't, right? Although we have a nonprofit at this point, we ain't the typical nonprofit. But we learned how to maneuver in that world, and we learned that a lot of folks were standing on our work, right, and going to get funding on the work we was doing, right? And so we learned a lot of lessons there, but it changed how we move. Right. In that, APTP was born. APTP was born in order to begin to combat what was happening in our community. And what you saw was there have been no police killings for a long periods of time, right? Because of the movements of thousands of people in the streets. Not just an organization, because we always got to put it back with the community, right? Because the people really create any change. What we can do is kind of help guide people in the right direction, facilitate that energy a certain kind of way, but for the most part, it's the people who make the change.
Right, right. And so you talked about Huey, and so right now, recently, well, not super recently, but for a while, the Huey P. Newton Foundation has arisen and pretty much kept the name alive. What's your words on the foundation?
Well, we always say Minister Huey P. Newton because we want to respect structure. Okay. That's how we always roll with it. And the reason why we do that is because these were organizations that changed the landscape. So we always want to respect them for their organizational value, right? So we say Minister Huey P. Newton because for that same respect. And so with Sister Frederica, we respect what's being done. You know, everybody got a role, you know, and the role that they play around, I think they're trying to move in right here. The role that they playing right now is to preserve the legacy, right? So, yeah, shout out.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, and what can we expect for the, also you out here with Kano.
Yeah.
Can you give some words about your partnership with
Listen, man. You know, these brothers and sisters who are freshly out in a lot of circumstances, but we partnering, right? And again, what CRC does is we help a lot of organizations get on their feet, right? Because we've been around a long time. We know it can't just be us, right? And so what we help to do is nurture and incubate different organizations. So that's a large part of our relationship. But these brothers today, being out here right now, without Kano, this wouldn't be as smooth as it is because of the relationships that they have in these encampments right now, right? And so because of that, it makes this work possible, right? The reason why we want to speak to that is because so many of our folks, man, we had some situations recently, and folks talk down on our brothers and sisters that's coming home. But we know and we value that work. And so without Kano, this would have been a lot more. This just like we did in Fitzgerald Park. These brothers and sisters are out here helping us to bridge the gap between these relationships to make this smoother. Right. So yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So the last question was CRC for the rest of the year, 2024. What's going on?
On these streets, doing as much of this as possible. You know, our thing is a lot of people got a lot to say. Our whole thing is resist the doom loop. They want to tell you to talk down on your city. That's cats like John Protopopis, who are funding people like Seneca Scott to come in and get you to tear down your city so that the prices go down. And I'm telling you what I know. That these developers and real estate folks are the folks that are behind this recall and shit like that. We're not even saying good, bad, or otherwise. You got to know a hustle when you see a hustle. You ain't even had an administration that's been in long enough to tell you whether they good, bad, or otherwise, right? From the day they won, they've been talking about recounts and recalls. That's a hustle. That's a hustle backed by developers, right? John Protopopis, who was down with Jerry Brown, Libby Schaaf, the displacement machine. Jerry Brown said, it's either slumification or gentrification. Jerry Brown initiated the process. He said that his mission was to break the back of the black political establishment in Oakland. So then what happened is they started to push us out of the city, right? So long-time Oakland residents for generations. Oakland used to be a significant to majority black city. Now you down to 20 to 19% somewhere in that ballpark, right? It's dwindling. This machine, now they're on the final stages. They want to get you down to San Francisco like 3%. I'm sure San Francisco is down lower than that now, right? It was 3% 10 years ago. So I'm sure it's lower than that now. They want black Oakland to be 3% or less, right? They're trying to get you out of here. So I'm saying that to say, don't buy into the doom loop. And so what we doing is we on the streets doing the work to counter that. Period, point blank. We want to show what we call a positive pull-up. Yep. That when we talk, the folks is talking shit, yeah, problems exist. But what are we doing to contribute and band together? Because the counter to the doom loop strategy and narrative is a positive pull together. Because then you keep your city valuable by showing the world that you can pull together, that you're going to do something about it, and that it's a strong community. So that's what we're doing for the rest of the year.
Right. You know, you touched on a thing that I wanted to connect with the 10K program.
Yeah.
So can you, a lot of people don't know what the 10K program was.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of alluded to it, but we might have skipped over it.
Jerry Brown wanted to bring 10,000 new people into the city, right? They wanted Brown low income, not even affordable. They wanted market rate housing in a high property situation like San Francisco and Oakland at this point. Market rate means that is more than you can afford, basically, right? And so they wanted to bring 10,000 new people into the city, but that meant pushing us out of the city, and that's where we are right now.
Right. Okay, cool. So any final words to the people?
Man, we all we got, right? But we say shit, we got a lot. That's just what it is. So we say we band together, we pull together, and any problem that exists in our community, we can solve it ourselves. We can solve it by pulling together. Don't let folks talk y'all into tearing down and talking down your city, because that plays in somebody else's interest. That plays in pushing the property values down. When we talk each other out of the city, we talk each other for moving. If the property values go down, they come in and buy it up for cheap. That is the game plan. That's confirmed. Again, study John Protopopis. Study Sam Singer. Sam Singer has been contracted under the Shaft administration. He's the representative for LaRon Armstrong right now. Sam Singer is the bad guy's good guy. He's a spin doctor who makes bad people look good. Now, I'm not saying I don't know why LaRon got him on or whatever, but I'm saying whenever you see Sam Singer, you know some shit is going down.
Right. So what is something that you could trace him back to as far as that?
Yeah, Chevron, he's represented Chevron. It was in, I want to say Ecuador, but do your research, because I'm not saying, but there was indigenous populations that were being fucked over by oil companies. He went in and represented the oil companies and made their genocidal moves look like they were good moves. I've heard and been told, and so I say allegedly, that he represented a rapist at an Oakland high school, a teacher who was a rapist at an Oakland high school, allegedly, because I don't have the documentation, but this is what we were told by one of their family members, right? But he's the bad guy's good guy. So do your own research on Sam Singer. He's a spin doctor who, when big companies and scoundrels fuck up, he goes in the press and makes them look like good people.
So is he a lawyer or just a
He's a PR person.
So
he owns a PR company. And that's what he does. He has a PR firm. Sam Singer has a PR firm where Monster Housing was going down. Wedgwood, a company that buys up and flips houses, right? And I'm not talking about mom and pop. I'm talking about a corporation that comes in and buys houses, holds them, all of that, speculators, right? When they were trying to kick the moms out, they hired Sam Singer. Sam Singer came in and painted a picture of them as welfare moms, as deadbeats. That's who Sam Singer is.
So does he do this by getting his articles kind of on the news?
Yes.
Or?
As a matter of fact, you gotta watch. We gotta ask the question. Sam Singer has a relationship with most of these media outlets. Not only do they pay for that, they go to the news outlets, that whether they get them advertising or whatever, because he's a high-powered firm, they are more likely to cater to him. That's who's behind this recall. Go to his page. Go to Sam Singer's Twitter. He'll tell you he's about taking this government, this particular progressive government down. That's what he says. Right? So you got rich white men who live in Piedmont, Claremont, and different places that's going to dictate Oakland politics. And that's what we're talking about right now. Every one of these motherfuckers that's behind the recall, either rich motherfuckers from San Francisco, Piedmont, Claremont, and they want to dictate Oakland politics. Right. And that's what's happening.
Okay, well, last question.
Yes, sir.
Because I think a lot of people aren't savvy to the council stuff. What role, who is Carol Fife?
Carol Fife is the West Oakland D3 representative, and she was the spearhead for Moms for Housing, no matter what anybody tells y'all. Don't believe the bullshit. Carol Fife was the one who organized and brought the moms together because there were several of the moms who were going through things, right? And so she got them together and they took over a house, right? But right now she's the representative. She's trying to do something called the 5K plan. 5K plan is to get 5,000 houseless folks off the streets into housing with wraparound services. And so that's what she's fighting for right now, because our people should not be on the streets, right? They need to be in it with all the care that they need, period.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Right on.
CRC.
Thank you.
And what Instagram should we follow, man?
You go to Community Ready Corps, CORP, Community Ready Corps on Instagram. Right on. We love y'all. We all we got. Sure. All right.